I'm back. It's about 8 o'clock a.m. Saturday. I'll take a quick little walk over here. So finally was able to catch one of the orb lights at my pre-dawn stream this morning. And Dusty, settle down, honey. Don't be breathing that car's exhaust. Yeah, it's pretty blurry, but those features there, what I like to call the Giants castles. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Come on, sweetie. Just stay out of the street. We're in northern New Mexico here. It's the 14th day of December 2024. Winding it up. And you can see the planes have already started doing their little tic-tac-toe. Been getting a bunch of spray lately around here. Come on, honey. Let's go, let's go. Good girl. That's my Dusty dog. Don't know what this guy's doing. Come on, out of the street. She loves trucks. Out of the street. Man, you don't listen. Yeah, so I don't know. Who's that guy? Kind of looks like a spook. That's cool. Yeah, and so I am retracing steps back to where the pre-dawn sighting was, and it was right up here, and it went northbound. And sun's coming up. It is still very cold. I should have worn those long underwear. I thought I was going to be too hot because the sun's coming out. Maybe it'll warm up. Okay, so yeah, this device doesn't really capture those cliffs, but yeah, sunrise and sunset, you could really see these features in the cliffs that just don't look like regular geology. Hello, AK's Playground. Thank you for joining. I don't recognize your name, but I sure appreciate you being here and that you're chatting. Yeah, please, folks, chat. Robert Roberts. Oh, cool. So, Robert, I just sent you, or at least I commented back to your comment regarding a very valid question. Could these orbs be planes or drones? And in my experience, doggy got a pokey. Get it, honey, get it. Yeah, so my experience is that the orbs are their own thing. Now, can they transform into other things? It seems like it. I'm hearing a lot about, yeah, just that. Things transforming. I'm trying to think in my memory, have I seen anything like that? It's not coming to me right now. Which doesn't mean that I haven't witnessed something like that. But I just can't recall all my memories at once. I'm only human, I guess. So, to review, yeah, so the sun's coming up here in the east over this hill. A number of days ago, I saw a kind of silvery metallic object going to the east before the sun came up. And and then 2 planes coming westbound. Oh. Um, where was I? Yeah, anyhow. Yeah, so this morning though, there was only one plane making a trail. Yeah, they really are going for tic-tac-toe over here. Look at this. So it was across, and now there's 2 more, pretty faint. Yeah, but the one that was going across was pretty impressive, long trail. Not this one here. And then there was one that crossed it going east-west. And I figured that they were going to try to block the sun's light, but it's just some wispy clouds. It's not like we're getting a major oil slick in the sky. I will go up the hill a little bit and see if we can make out some of these features over here. You know, what's generally taken as geology, but do you all see when I'm having some messages coming in, and I'm not sure if that shows up on the stream or not. Anyway, so I'm gonna get to higher ground here, and then as the sun's light catches those features, we'll try to point out some right angles and other things that, to my mind, make it look like these were structures from previous civilization, culture, or something like that. Go, go, go! She always smells something right around here. She's obsessed. This dog is obsessed. Come on. Let's keep it moving. Okay. Ow! Ooh, that's cactus. Right through the wool shoes. Sacrifice. Okay, let's get untwisted. Yeah, this is dangerous country out here. You know, I suppose if conditions change, all these cactus will evolve into little ticklers. And then everything will be happy. Tickle, tickle. It's beautiful. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, but for now, they're pokey, they hurt. And luckily that one didn't stick in my foot like the other day. I had one that went through my shoe and went deep into my toe, but it's amazing. The body heals. I barely even can feel that it was an injury. So I noticed on listening to a little bit of my last stream, I'm a heavy breather. Whew. So I apologize for that. Okay. Let's take a view around. Yeah, and apologies for not being in landscape mode. It won't really let me switch. I don't know. I don't know if it's just that I'm not seeing the right buttons. It seems like every time I go to access live stream, they change the features. So I would go to the advanced settings to change to landscape mode. Now it's not offered there. I don't know if they tucked it away somewhere else. I don't know why they can't just find something that works and stick with it. Okay, let's zoom in. It's blurry. Down to one viewer. Who we got here? Usually harder to tell what is in a video than when you see it in person. Absolutely. That's why I stopped trying to film back after 2012. Like the majority of my sightings were in 2012 to 2018. But I've been having experiences for 5 decades plus. Anyway, so Tiger Eye, good morning. Thanks for being here, and hopefully the stream will stay functioning for a while. So maybe I'll zoom out and then folks can zoom in on their own devices. I'll try to zoom back in. What do you think? Is that just straight geology? Or does it look like those used to be structures? Man, it sure looks like structure to me. And there's a little church down at the bottom. That's Jemez. Los Alamos is in the distance. I really was expecting that there would be more activity over Los Alamos, being that they have the labs and all the nerds. But honestly, I see more stuff right over my little town. And I don't know. I mean, these things are supposed to be surveilling, military sites or whatever, but what is interesting about this place and not 30 miles that way where all the experiments are going on? Anyway, so this hill to me looks artificial. This one right here, I think that was a structure. It's just been either covered over or just destroyed. Let's take a look at these cliffs. Can't really make out much on the device. It's kind of too bad. Yeah, when I tried to look at Google Earth to see what's over there, it doesn't look like much. I can tell you though, so the kind of sandy, straight hills behind those cliffs, those are not natural. That stuff went in the 60s, I'm told. And it's erosion control, drainage control. This whole valley was very prone to flash flooding. And if you look into that notch right there, that's the road to Santa Fe. And it used to take folks 2 days to do the 26 miles between Chimayo and Santa Fe. Can you imagine that? 2 days going up and down these sandy hills, and it would get washed out a lot. Yeah, so then even into the 50s and 60s, so we've got Chimayo here. Further in the distance is Santa Cruz, and then kind of over that ridge there, that's Espanola, and Okeowinge is a little bit that way. Dixon, Penasco and Taos that way. Mora and Las Vegas is that way. Yeah, the Pecos is on the other side over here. Cundillo is the next town over this little hillock. So just waiting for something to show up, inviting the mysterious entities or whatever who have been mainly playful with me. So I'm I'm not fearful of what's going on, but I do recognize that there could be different things all happening. And even amongst these types, if we call them, we like to say aliens, which is like really kind of a bullshit term, because if they've been here the whole time, living under the ground and not a million light years away. Light year is a bullshit term. That's 20th century bullshit. That's going away. Light year, even gravity, dark matter, dark energy. What do they have now? They're calling it early dark, this and that, and whatever, or new. It's all garbage. It's all going away. Don't hang on to it. It's just a mental trap. And no, light doesn't take time to travel. Light occurs instantaneously. And so the quicker that we get a grasp of that, the better off we're going to be. That's the thing. We're carrying around a lot of outmoded ideas about what this place is and how it's constituted and what the history of it is, and its composition. And so, if you have a problem with that, that's your problem. That's not my problem. I used to agree with all that stuff. I used to be interested in that, but I'm over 50 years old now, and my next 50 years is not going to be about living my life in someone else's paradigm, especially if they're laying it out to ensnare us and, as a control mechanism to keep us chasing our tail, trying to answer questions that are off the mark to begin with. So yeah, all of people like to think, oh well, you're using a cell phone and that comes from the same science. No, all these things are different. It's about energy, and energy transforms. It goes from phase to phase, all the different states. There's emergent properties. But, continue along if you want to think that we're spinning around in all different directions at once, and somehow the same stars keep showing up around us. Nothing ever changes. You use that as long as you find it useful. I know that I did. But before you start calling me an idiot or anything, just try to remember that when you talk to someone who used to have thoughts and feelings that are similar to your own, and when they move past that, and then you start insulting them, I'm saying you. I don't know who you is, but who you are. But anybody who's going to do that comes off looking like a really immature individual. Right? Does this make sense? So I need to repeat this. So when you talk with someone who used to think the way you do currently, and they no longer do, and then you run them down with insult, ad hominem attack, and the whole gamut, all of the logical fallacies that go with it. All right, fine, I'm an idiot. Great. But we'll see in the long run, Anyway, so this is my area. This is the place that chose me. I didn't choose it, but circumstances brought me here, and I guess I'm kind of, for the time being, I'm the custodian of the Giants runes. Hi, sweet bird. Love you. Okay, so yes, some cool shadow over here, right above my walking stick. That some right angles. can't keep still. I'll set it on this, see if that helps. Yeah, so we're looking for right angles and features that are indicative of artifice and not nature. Seymour Flyers. Nice. Right, what's the temperature? Cold. Cold, cold, cold. I don't know. I have mittens on. But it was really cold before dawn. Now it's warming up. Yeah, I caught an orb early this morning up above. And so that video should post. It's funny because a lot of times when I'm catching either, there was a shooting star the other night here and it drained my battery down. And then various times when I'm trying to capture something. Oh yeah, the last night. Um, so I was behind that red building there, looking this way, and on the ridge, I can't see the notch from here. Well, I guess so. Where's the bump? There's a little bump there, but from this angle, it kind of looks like a saddle, and there was a white. I won't call it an orb because it was a rayed light, and maybe the same rayed light that I saw on the ridgeline the day before Mother's Day back in May, when the blue bubble orb went overhead. I was down there. It went over, and then when it got to a certain point, the light on the hill got really big, and it had green tips on the edges of the rays once it got to a certain width or whatever, and then it vanished. So last night, right around sunset, I was looking out there, and the little, either the same or a different one, white light, it was peeking over the hill and kind of teasing me. And then my phone died right on the stream, and it battery went down. Yeah, I like today I came out here, it was like at 96 or 98%. Every time I walk out, I'm having close to 100%, and then something will happen and it'll go down to 3%, 4%. This morning when it died, I was talking about an early sighting from my childhood, and it died, and then I went and plugged it in, and it was at 58%. So logic would say that it's just the cold affecting the battery, but I think it's either gremlins or out and out. I'll leave it blank, you know. But I guess while it's on my mind, I'll give my usual caveat to all the agents from whatever departments that you hail. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to all agents. Treat me with respect, kindness. I will do the same for you. I don't have any enemies in this world. I'm not looking to take on any enemies. And in my experience, whenever it seems that I have to talk with agents of various agencies, I wind up with another ally, and you know, I maintain my freedom, and I'm thankful for that. And I don't envy you guys because, like I've said before, you know, yeah, when I was a kid, there was these old cartoons where they'd show like a couple of characters would be snowed into a cabin or whatever, and they're looking at each other across the room, and then one turns into a hot dog and the other turns into a hamburger, right? And they're licking their chops, looking at each other, and they just can't wait to go at it. Well, that's what I see is coming up. This coming Civil War, it's not going to be between It's not going to be between the government and the people. It's going to be between all the freaking agents who are going to look across the office at each other and say, you know what? I like that dude more than I like you. And he's been honest this whole time. And you guys are telling me to go and lie and to basically commit reason. So I know that some of you still have conscience and you don't want to sell your sisters and brothers into total slavery just for a paycheck, right? Because when it comes down to it, would you do what you do if you didn't get paid for it? Would you want to still oppress your family and your friends and your neighbors if there was zero benefit coming from it? Or just the promise that you'll get paid sometime down the road because you're going to be put on furlough and they're going to ask you to just keep doing this work for zero compensation, but the promise that you'll get that big truck or some benefit package. It's always going to be down the road. Kick the can down the road and leave a wake of sorrow. No. 2025, let's have a new start. Let's just party. Let's hang out. Let's have a feast, festival. Whether we be human or, the almond-eyed eggheads, we can all hang out. There's no need to have a war. The war is within. Low battery. Low power mode. So yeah, I mean, all I'm doing is sitting here. It's only 27 minutes and now I've drained the battery. So I don't know, maybe it's, so where did that plane go? There was just a plane coming over. Well, that's interesting. Did you all see that? There was a plane coming up over the hill and now I look back and it's gone. Those guys are still over there. We got an X in the sky over here. That guy's going that way. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna wind it down. Low battery mode. I'm glad that I got to share this with you. Hopefully the stream will last. I know that it's gonna be, I don't know, but I'm assuming that it's gonna take a while before it gets posted because it seems like whether it needs to finalize or whatever, but my streams disappear and then they come back, and same thing with my comments. My comments on people's videos, they tend to vanish and some of them reappear, but I'm not a danger to anyone, so don't censor me. If anything, you want to talk to me, get some ideas that are different than your own. I'm a peaceful man, at home, at rest, on the land of my nativity, even though I'm not actually from this area of the land, but it's all the land. This land is your land, this land is my land. Let's take care of it, foster growth, and make this world really cool. No more strife, no more suffering. I recognize that we grow through suffering and strife, but what's the point of making each other, there's probably other ways to grow, is my point. Dusty, what are you doing to me? It's cold. Yeah, so much love, much respect. Seriously, respect, respeto. Let's all be friends. Let's cut the bullshit. And yeah, for all you agents, try to have compassion your bosses and your supervisors, because I'm imagining that they're having a lot of internal dialogue, questioning what the hell they got into and why. Because a lot of you just wanted to help, and now you're finding yourselves having to dominate and control others, and that's kind of shitty, you know. So I guess that's my rant for the morning. I'll check back in a little while. I haven't seen anything spectacular, but I have been wanting to show the rest of the world what it's like here, and just send out good tidings. Let's have a good conversation. This world is pretty special. Whether you think it's a ball, or an infinite plane, or a Taurus field, you know, those things are really secondary to how we treat each other. Just like I've heard so many times. Drive safely, bro. Yeah, you know, a lot of people say, well, what does it matter if it's round or if it's flat? I still have to go to work and still have to pay the bills. And for the time being, that is the system that we find ourselves in. Things change, though. We've got a lot of creativity and a lot of potentiality, a lot of minds that we could put together to come up with a whole variety of systems. We're basically living out the systems set by people who are no longer with us. And, you know, they set up control mechanisms to further perpetuate their goals, which really may not be relevant to our needs. And I'd say they definitely are not. Yeah, so let's go over to where yesterday, where my sunset stream ended, and we'll see if my little friend, the Sasquatch light, is going to be on the hillside. Yeah, and if anybody has the means of traveling and you want to see a cool place, Chimayo is famous for having the Sanctuario, which is down that way. It's a church built on an old sacred site. And look at that, she does not want to do this. Dusty, just give me some patience, honey. Okay, so straight ahead, above that house, right, they have a light that comes on around sunset. So in the stream, you'll be able to see that light. But right above that notch, let's see if we could zoom in. That notch, right there, that's where the peekaboo orb, not orb, but the light that was shining, and it shut my stream down. Or the timing just coincided that way. Hey, birdie. Yeah, and a week or two before that, there was a white light that I saw that went along the hill. Where was I? Hey! I guess I must have been down here. Something like that. And it went. Well, okay, so 35 minutes in. Still got 2 viewers. Anybody chatting? Ooh, Chimayo. We on the res? Not exactly. The Oke-Oinge people are over there. The Santa Clara people are that way, next to Española. The Nambe Pueblo people are that way. There we go, low battery, of course. And then Pohake people are down the way. Tasuke people a little closer to Santa Fe. So specifically, this is just a town. It's not a reservation, but I'll tell you what, it's the same thing. It might as well be a reservation, but it's a municipality. I'll let you all know. In the summer, they have more hours. It's just the kids made. Dog toys. These dog toys show up in my yard, and I bring them here because I know that some of the folks that do work here, teaching crafts and stuff, they have dogs. But the dogs drop toys off for Dusty. But then they just sit. She doesn't really play with them. Until another dog wants one. And then she gets really defensive. What is it, honey? What is it? Sasquatch Prince? Anyway, come on, honey. Ugh. Apple trees. These produce some apples. I dehydrated apples again this year. Oh yeah, let's try to get a good view over here. So there's a spire there. It looks like the top of an old steeple. Let's see if we could get that. Honeys, don't pull me. Can you make... I'll try to set this on here. It's hard to focus. Yeah, so that kind of brighter image in the center there. There's a spire that sticks out. The ridge line behind these features here, that's not natural. That was built in the 60s to hold back water. And what that tells me is that they buried something else. They couldn't destroy all the stuff, so they probably blew some stuff up, moved earth around. And why it's so important to hide our past, we're gonna have to figure that out. But somebody really doesn't want us to know what the real past is, what our heritage is. We on the res, Chimayo. Okay, yeah, so, and there's Robert Roberts has a little peace sign, thank you. Peace and yin yang and a sunrise. Tiger eye, thank you. Yeah, thanks for joining the chat. We are 39 minutes in. Lost some viewers. That's okay though. Appreciate folks that are here. Now it says 2 people are here, but is that just 2 people in the chat or 2 people that are viewing? I don't know. I'm not up on all that, but I'm doing this for the future people. And so if you're here right now, consider yourself communicating with the future. So if you got anything to say, here's a good forum. Okay, do a little trespassing right here. Tiger Eye is here. Come on, baby. Okay, we're coming up on the old plaza. The old plaza. There's a beat up old building for you. This is the community garden they started a couple years ago. I think that's delightful. I put some seeds in there, but I don't know if they came up or not. I wasn't really planting in rows like they were. I was kind of just scattering around. My approach is, you seeds gotta toughen up if you want to live. You can't be coddled. You want to survive, you're gonna survive. And then, yeah, sometimes a year will go by and then, like they won't grow that first year. But then I'll come back and there'll be things I say, oh, was that from me? Maybe. Okay, so yeah, lots of tangents, just talking, walking and talking. Oh, lost somebody. It's okay, people got stuff to do. It's pretty quiet in the neighborhood. It's really a rather lovely day. There's a country road for you. Rusty. Man. Yeah, so I got this set up with a leash around my waist, so she used to really hurt me, pulling me, and it's better like this, but she still doesn't just let me walk. She's always got to pull. Just walk by my side, honey. Come on, I'm not going down there. She wants to go see a dog over there, but I don't want chaos. Nice old tree. Yeah, so just waiting for something strange to happen. Tic-tac-toe clouds. Cute little doggy on the right. Yeah, it's kind of sad. All my neighbors, they just leave their dogs in the yards or in a freaking cage. And so whenever Dusty walks by, they all kind of start going off. They're like, what are you doing? You get to walk around. It's too bad. But I get it, you know, they're guard dogs because there's enough people out here who are out of balance and they don't always make the right decisions. So they start getting into each other's property, causing trouble. So the dogs aren't really pets. They're really, they're meant to intimidate and that kind of thing. Another abandoned building right here. Lots of abandoned buildings. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. You know, the younger people move away. They don't want to stay here. They don't want to be around the heroin and the meth and the fentanyl and whatnot. So they go to San Diego and Hawaii and New York and Seattle, Portland. A lot of people leave New Mexico, and then a bunch